Hey, Bob Coppedge, Crotchety Olde Geek, Simplex-IT, all that good fun silliness. I want to talk about jobs and talk about things that are both creating and destroying jobs. They're creating small number of jobs, but good paying jobs, while at the same time destroying more but lower paying jobs. That's essentially the crux of technology. So here's what happened. First of all, recently went to a Sam's Club. And you know Sam's Club where they've got all these people who are giving you samples of food, samples of this, samples of that. Well, now they have a self-serve sample dispenser. In this particular case, and you'll see the picture here, it was actually giving out applesauce samples. Now, what this machine does single-handedly is you have to use your membership card to actually get the sample. In return, now Sam's Club knows that we're interested in this particular product because we got the free sample. It can limit you to one sample a day as opposed to the sample people who love to just get one after another, after another, after another. And it eliminates the job of the person who actually hands out the samples, which is not necessarily the kindest thing to do, but it saves money. So similarly, at a recent one of those Home Depot stores, I can't even remember if it was Home Depot or the like, and a self-service key maker. So you put your key in, it'll automatically duplicate the key and hand it back to you. So the skill of the locksmith, at least in terms of making keys or samples at the hardware store, is eliminated. Now, in both of those cases, there are jobs that are created to actually build and design the machines, the software necessary, the hardware, putting them together. Those are higher paying jobs, whether they be technical, manufacturing, distribution, whatever. But a small number of jobs, because once that's done, those jobs are, the product itself is easy to replicate. So automatically, we've got this high-paying job, but a small number of them, the haves. And then we have a lot of people with these lower skills, the service providers, who are now the have-nots. And the problem is every time we introduce a new example of this technology, we create a lot fewer jobs than we actually get rid of. Think in terms of the red box, the distribution of DVDs, versus the entire chain of Blockbuster, or Encyclopedia Britannica sales versus Wikipedia. And the challenge is that every one of these new technological innovations are actually creating opportunities only for skilled people, for the most part, and fewer of them than the jobs that are being eliminated. This is true for people who are TurboTax versus tax preparers, all up and down the food chain of jobs. And this is the problem, is that we see people who are either saying yay to the job creators and ignoring the jobs that are being eliminated, or boo to the job destroyers and not looking at the actual value that's created for the people that have the skills. The bottom line is, it sucks. For somebody, it's good news for somebody. So next time you see somebody who's screaming about job creation or job destruction, take a second and try to listen to what they're actually talking about and what is half of the equation that they're actually leaving out. You'll notice I never said once the word offshore or overseas, because actually that's not necessarily a critical component of this. Crotchety Olde Geek, Simplex-IT, this is Bob Coppedge.